Hi, it's Katie. Welcome back to Steal the Spotlight. Today I'm actually very excited because this is kind of a video I accidentally manifested. I don't know about you, but mid to late last year I was getting a ton of DIY anime merch on my TikTok, and at first I was like, the talent is unbelievable. To be able to freehand sketch onto a pair of jeans could never be me. But then I started seeing a lot of people using this machine called a cricut, and I was like, damn, this looks like a professional job. I might need to get in on this action. And then around December, I got an email asking if I wanted to try it. Yes. Very much yes, I would like to try it. So here we are today with my sleek little Cricut maker. I am gonna try my hand at not just the anime jeans, but a couple of other projects as well. I don't know if this is just me, but when I get a new piece of technology, I sometimes feel a bit intimidated, but trust me, not the case with this. It is extraordinarily user-friendly. Like, this thing is smart enough for the both of us. Doesn't matter that I only have 2 brain cells up there, both of which are experiencing high-Q brain rot. It's still gonna be covered. All we have to do today is try and get our creative juices flowing, and even then, if you weren't really up for it, they actually have a lot of things ready to go, or whether it is pre-made graphics in their design space or their library of digital sewing patterns. Since I've already admitted my high-Q brain rot, let's just start there. It is my #1 comfort anime. I wanted to take the comfort those characters bring me and apply it to an equally comforting piece of clothing. So of course, I've got a nice little cozy hoodie. I mean, wow, I wonder what team she's gonna be representing. Since I actually want this one to be more of a subtle piece of merch, I'm going for that collegiate sweatshirt sort of vibe. So I'm not actually going to be uploading my own images of any characters. I'm just going to put my little graphic design cap on and see what we can come up with in design space. Obviously the main point is going to be a bold font for Nekoma, but I'm also going to search to see what images they have for volleyball, maybe a cat, see what we could come up with. Obviously you could easily apply this to any team, switch out the color combo and the mascot, but judging from my haiku video, Nekoma was seemingly the most popular team anyway. Y'all know I'm a Shiro Torizawa fan, and I genuinely feel guilty that I'm once again not representing my boys, but I promise you it was just because I had a red hoodie and not a purple one. Tendo, I am so sorry. So sorry. Oh my god. You cannot tell me that if Kageyama ever had kids in time skip, he wouldn't have a t-shirt that had this graphic on it. Like, that screams him. Ushijima as well. This app I'm using is available on iOS, Android, Mac, Windows, you name it. I will say I think you can do a little bit more on the computer rather than on mobile device, so I think I'm going to switch over for this one because it's a little bit more intricate as opposed to the other ones where I'm just going to be uploading my own image that's good to go on the iPad. Since our final design has multiple colors, it means we'll have 3 separate layers to cut out. I'm just splitting them up so you get an idea, but you don't actually have to worry about that. The machine has it all under control for you and will prompt you when to insert which color vinyl. The only real thing you need to remember to select manually is to turn mirror on if you're using any sort of iron-on material. I'm using the everyday iron-on, so yes, I'm selecting that as well as choosing it to set as my base material. I'm placing the vinyl shiny side down on my cutting mat, and then after turning the machine on, literally all I'm gonna do is press the load button and then press the go button. That's it. Sit back, relax, watch the magic unfold in front of you. It's actually almost somewhat hypnotic. I don't know, something about how it's just so precise and accurate without you actually having to do anything. You just know that it's gonna look nice and crisp when you finally unload it. And once that first one's complete, it'll just prompt you to load your next vinyl in, so on and so forth until you are finished. Once you have all your pieces cut, it'll be time to reach for your tools because we still need to peel away all of the excess vinyl that we do not want to transfer onto the clothing item. The process of this is called weeding, and this little pick-like tool is going to be your best friend for this one. This is definitely the sort of process that falls under oddly satisfying for me, but it probably depends on your patience level and also how intricate your design is. But I don't know, there's something about being able to just turn your mind off while peeling away at the excess. Usually I have a show playing in the background as well, and I find it quite peaceful, relaxing even. Once you're finished with the weeding process, it's time to move into the final round, and unfortunately you can't just layer them all together and iron it on in one go, but I did want to place them over each other just to ensure that everything was the perfect size. I didn't want to just jump into committing to ironing it onto my hoodie without double checking first, and everything looked good to me, so I started with the ironing layering process. There's not really much to it. I just ensured there was a flat hard surface underneath the hoodie and then ironed the area that I'd be working with. I was being extra cautious because I'm just working with my dodgy old iron, but they do actually have a Cricut Easy Press and a corresponding app where it'll tell you exactly how hot everything needs to be and how long you need to hold it there, so that's definitely going on my wish list. I was initially kind of worried about doing too many layers, but oh my goodness, could not be more pleasantly surprised. It feels so smooth still and legit looks like a professional job. Like, everyone I've shown this to literally thought I bought it. Okay, next up we're going to be doing another little iron on moment, but do keep in mind that the Cricut Maker specifically actually cuts the most materials, whether it is paper, fabric, matte board, leather, you name it. It has a lot of things covered, but you know, your girl, she's simple. She just wants to have some cute iron-on little transfers right now. So this time around I have this cropped ringer tee, and originally I was thinking a Sailor Moon graphic would look really cute, but somewhere along the line I changed my mind to doing Psyche K instead. And the awesome thing about the design space is that you can actually upload your own images. So all I did was search for Psyche K screenshots on Google, found a little screenshot I liked, and then in whatever editing software you use, I'm just using Procreate today, I traced the outline, so exactly what you would actually want to see on the final product. Obviously this is pretty straightforward, so my only real tip is the pen thickness. Obviously you don't want it too thick, but you also don't want to go too thin either. A, it's probably going to be a headache if you're trying to weed out very intricate pieces, but B, and more importantly really, is the fact that it's just not going to stand out on your shirt. The rest of the process though, exactly the same. I'm even still using just everyday iron-on. I've only just switched out the color to pink. Clearly this image is more detailed than the previous ones, so it did take me a little bit longer to weed, but like I said before, I actually find it quite relaxing, especially if you have a good light-hearted show to play in the background. So hit me up in the comments with some of your recommendations. Psyche K is actually a great example. Kiss Him Not Me, Oran High School Host Club, Yona of the Dawn, things of that sort of nature is typically what I like to watch in times like this, so let me know if you have any good ones. Once we finally finished that process, I just prepped my t-shirt the same as I did before, but this time I also just purposely made a crease down the center. This way it kind of acted as a guideline of where we wanted to place the image, and I do make sure that I get this just right before you go ironing it on. You don't want it to be kind of off center or a bit skew-iff, so I just made sure it was straight and in the middle. Oh, also I forgot to mention this before, but I made sure to have absolutely no water in the iron. Even if you have your steam settings turned off, you just don't want to risk an accident and causing everything to stuff up. I think this is gonna be a really fun one because it's not just anime merch, it's also kind of recreating one of the characters' looks, and it is this outfit that Misa Amane wears. I've wanted to DIY this jacket for the longest time, and I think this piece I have will work quite nicely. We're gonna start by deconstructing it a little bit with a slit down either sleeve, and thankfully these sleeves don't actually have any lining, so I think I'm just gonna leave it as a raw edge. It's kind of like the messier, more undone, the better for this sort of style. To hold it together, she just had a bunch of silver safety pins, and if I have enough left over, I would like to use some to decorate different areas just to make sure it all ties in. Other elements we can see in the picture are the badges on the lapel. I don't really have too many other than a couple of Casper, the friendly ghost ones, so we'll see what I can come up with. But there's also a patchwork detail of a skull and crossbones on the left bottom hand corner, so we're gonna try and recreate that. Again, just got something that is never worn in the back of my wardrobe, just some plain black fabric. I'm gonna cut a piece out and do an iron-on transfer in white, which will then safety pin to the jacket. Obviously you could just go with a standard skull and crossbones, but since we're in the anime mood, I wanted to stay on brand. I'm actually gonna use the skull of Death from Soul Eater. I don't know, I thought it could be a cool little touch. Another show which has incredible styling, by the way. Let me know what some of your top picks are for stylish characters. Obviously Death Note, Soul Eater, Nana, I mean all of Aizawa's work is up there. We don't actually have a reference image of her back, but I thought it would be really cool to do an outline of Ryuk in a white vinyl again. You could go for whoever your favorite character is on the back. Originally I was thinking having her Shirogami would make more sense, but there's just something so iconic about Ryuk's design that I couldn't pass on it. Since this is a bit longer and I'm only doing the one image, I was a bit concerned that it might look too small and insignificant just chucked on the back there, so I've actually picked up this longer mat here. Obviously not gonna do the full length, but it does give us more room to work with, and I picked this one up as well as all of the iron-on vinyl actually from Harvey Norman. It's just around the corner from me, so that's what's easiest. But if you're in Australia, there's Harvey Norman, Spotlight, Big W and craftsonline.com.au that all sell crickets and cricket related goodies. Okay, it is about time we had another Hunter x Hunter feature on this channel. It has been a hot minute since my Hisoka look and my Killua look, and we're actually taking inspiration from the little style icon himself once more today. I have this blue bag, you would have seen it previously. There's something about this particular shade of blue though that instantly reminds me of Killua every single time. So I figured team it up with an iconic image, which of course is him in Godspeed. So I'm just going to be doing some tracing on Procreate. I am combining two screenshots because I prefer his outfit when he has the layered t-shirt, but of course we want the lightning, so combining the two. And while I'm doing this, I've got to ask, because y'all know how nosy I am, who is your favorite Hunter x Hunter character? I feel like if we had longer with Crollo, that's typically my kind of favorite character. You know, everyone has their type, but I just felt like we didn't get to know him enough. So number one for me is definitely the Ant King himself. Actually, you should also let me know some of your unpopular anime opinions below. I've never been one to do like the unpopular opinion videos or whatever. I'm still not gonna do a video, but I would genuinely love to read them. So once I completed my outline, I just measured what dimensions I'd want to adjust it to in Design Space. Because of the texture of the bag and just its general awkwardness, I'm not able to use the iron-on transfer. Instead, I'm using this removable premium vinyl. As the name suggests, this isn't as permanent an option, but since it's not clothing that is going to have the same wear and tear and need to wash constantly, I think this should still be okay. That does mean there's a slight change to our process with a couple of extra steps. First of all, you want to remember that this is shiny side up and you don't need to be turning the mirror image on. Of course, the Cricut is still going to be cutting everything nice and crisp for you. You're also still going to have to go through that same weeding process, but as you can see, this time around, it is actually left on this white backing. So in order to actually get it from here onto our bag, we need a helping hand from the transfer tape. Peel that baby away, and then the clear sheet you're left with, you want to overlay on top of your image, and then using the scraper tool, make sure that it's really pressed on there nicely. Then you should be able to peel off the original white backing and be left with just your design ready to stick on whatever your desired surface is. To apply it, I just use the scraper tool again, and then you've got one last peel to reveal the final product. Now for the reason I'm even here in the first place, which is the jeans. You guys know me as your local indecisive